Okay, so next we will move to question number 2 here. So here the question says the curve C has equation y equals 2x to the power 5 over 2 minus 4x plus 3. Okay, so the part A here, it's asking to find the derivative of y, that is dy over dx, writing your answer in simplest form. Okay, so we have the equation for the curve. We just need to differentiate. Okay, so if you remember the rule for differentiation, the process for finding the derivative of a function, we know that when we differentiate, we basically multiply the coefficient by the power, and then we multiply the coefficient by the power of the variable, and then from the power of the variable we subtract 1, right? And that's the general rule for differentiation. Okay, so the equation y is here. Let me write down the equation first. 2x to the power 5 over 2, then negative, it's negative 4x plus 3. Okay, so if you differentiate this equation, as I said, uh, we have to multiply the coefficient by the power of the variable, so you will get 2 times 5 over 2. Okay, and then you just subtract 1 from the power, so 5 over 2 minus 1, 5 over 2 minus 1 minus 4 times 1, because the power of x here it's 1, so x to the power 1 minus 1 plus 3. So 3, it's a constant, and we know that a constant has no derivative, so it's 0 basically. Okay, so if you multiply, you will get 5x to the power 3 over 2 minus 4 times 1, it's 4, x to the power 0, so it's x to the power 0 is 1. So we got the derivative dy over dx, it is 5x to the power 3 over 2 minus 4. And that's the answer for part A. Okay, let's move to part B. The point P lies on the curve C, given that the x-coordinate of P is 2 to the power k. The x-coordinate, let me get the highlighter. Okay, so the x-coordinate of P is given as 2 to the power k, where k is a constant. Okay, the gradient of C at the point P is 16. Okay, well, so now the question is asking here to find the value of k. Fine. So the format for the x-coordinate of point P is given, which is 2 to the power k, and the gradient of the curve C at the point P is given as 16. So this is the important thing that we will be using here. Okay, we need here. Okay, so for part B, we got the derivative, right, which is 16. So since the derivative is given here, we will, and we, uh, since the gradient is given here, and we just found the derivative at the part A, so we can just equate the gradient equal to the derivative. Okay, so what we can write here, uh, this is at point P, isn't it? At point P, the derivative, that's the gradient. We know that derivative is the gradient function. So 5x to the power 3 over 2 minus 4. So we can write 5x to the power 3 over 2 minus 4. This is equals to 16, isn't it? Let me check. It's 16. Perfect. So 5x to the power 3 over 2 equals 16 plus 4. If you take this 4 to the right, it will be 20. Okay. So, and then we can divide both sides by 5. We will get 4. And then, since it's 3 over 2, we can square both sides so that the half, the 2 in the index, that's in the denominator of the index, will go away. Okay, so we'll get x cubed equals to 4 squared, it is 16. And then we can get the x coordinate if we cube both sides. Okay, square cube both, sorry, if we not cube, it is inverse the cube, inverse of cube. Okay, so it I couldn't recognize, it's cube root. Okay, perfect. So cube root of 16. So cube root of 16, it is 16 to the power 1 over 3. That's the cube root. Okay, so but the question says it has to be in the form of 2 to the power k. So that means we have to convert the 16 to the power 1 over 3 to what? 2 to the power k. Okay, so we can do this easily because we know that 16, it's the uh, quad quadratic root of 16. Okay, so uh, so the quadratic root of 16, it's how much? It's 16. It's 2. Sorry, it's 2 to the power 4. Okay, so the quadratic root of 16, it is 2. So 2 to the power 4 whole to the power 1 over 3. And we know from the laws of index that when there's an index, a number with index inside a bracket, and it has whole it has it has an another index at the top of whole bracket. Okay, then the two powers, the two indices gets multiplied. So 4 is inside the bracket, and the 1 over 3 it's outside of the bracket. So these two will get multiplied. So that will give us 2 to the power 4 over 3, and we got exactly in the form 2 to the power k. So that means the value for k here it's 4 over 3, and that's the answer for question number 2. That's it. Fine.